Hello friends, we back for more RWBY content. So this is gonna be our first RWBY content that isn't a reaction. So I'm gonna make a tier list here based on the different soundtracks for each volume. So we have all the volumes here from 1 to 8. 9 is not yet available. I don't know if we're gonna do an updated version with 9. Maybe if there's a demand from the fans, but as of now, this is what we're gonna do. So the way we're gonna do this is I'm gonna check out every song from every volume. I've already done like soundtrack reactions in the channel. If you want to check those out, there's like a playlist there, and we're gonna rate them based on how much I like it, right? So if we like it, we give it a point. If not, we don't. And our tier list here is gonna be based on let's say D is if I like 1 or 2 songs, 3 for C, B for 4, A for 5, and then S tier would be 6 and up. 6 and up would be that's like majority of the soundtrack I like, if that's the case. I wouldn't imagine that there would be too many S tiers because it is what it is. Before we get started, or I guess we should get started. So we'll start with volume 1. So I have a list of songs here for volume 1. So the first song will be This Will Be the Day. This is the opening song. This is amazing, right? This is what kind of gets you into RWBY. Aside from the trailers, the opening itself gives you that hype to really get into it. So that's definitely one of those. Next we have Red Like Roses. I did like Red Like Roses, but I did notice that it's a bit tricky to digest, if I'm saying that correctly. It's not really something that you would play in any moment, right? Any moment would be a good time to play this song. I will say also for this soundtrack tier list, I tend to not rate ballads highly. So volumes that have a lot of ballads, you can expect those to get like the short end of the stick. I think a good measure of how good a song is its replay value. Like how often do you like to play the song? So just because of that, songs that are bops are normally gonna rate higher than very situational songs that you only play like once in a month or something. So yeah, we don't give 1 for Red Like Roses. It's too situational. Mirror Mirror, our third song. This was kind of tough because even though it was a ballad, it's hard to take away the feeling you have when you were watching the trailer, which was really good. But I decided not to give a point for this one because it was close, but no. From Shadows, I didn't really like From Shadows. I think the instrumentals here was a little too heavy. It was a little too metal, and the shrieking that Jeff does is, it's a little too much. It's a little too much for my taste. So next song we have I Burn. So there's 2 actually in this soundtrack. We have I Burn for the yellow trailer and I guess for the whole song I Burn. So we will give a point for this one. I Burn definitely rocks, right? I'm sure everyone agrees with that. So yeah, we give a point for I Burn. We'll only give 1 point for the 2 because it's essentially the same song. Gold. With a touch of a hand, I'll turn your life to gold. No, not for gold. Gold was almost. Gold was an almost, but no, not for gold. Red Like Roses Part 2. 100%. 100%. Red Like Roses Part 2 is a bit more. It's a bit more casual than the typical Red Like Roses, because I think the Red Like Roses is just something that you would play if you're playing like D&D, you want some background music. That's that's good for that. But Red Like Roses for a standalone song does work, right? You could see people singing this one. So we give a point for that. And then the next up we actually have another I Burn, so another remix. So we already gave a point for that, so we're gonna skip that. Next is from Shadows, the full version. Same thing. We didn't really like From Shadows. It's a little hard to digest, right? Even if you like the song, I don't think you're gonna be playing this like, a few times a week, right? It's one of those, unless that you're into that stuff. And then our last song is Wings. Wings Wings kind of falls to the typical typical ballad phrase, right? So if it wasn't a ballad maybe, but just because it's slow and the it's a little too slow for my taste, right? You kind of have to be in the mood to play Wings. You can't just throw it on a playlist and be like, you go from I Burn to Wings, like what? Okay, so that's gonna end the volume 1 soundtrack. So what do we have? So we have one for This Will Be the Day, another one from I Burn, another one from oh, actually we forgot about I May Fall, right? I May Fall is a part of this. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, we definitely give a point for I May Fall. That's definitely the case. So that being said, I May Fall, easily the best song in this volume. I kind of deleted it in error here in my list, but I kind of remembered just in time, right? Just in time. So we have This Will Be the Day, we got I Burn, I May Fall, and Red Like Roses Part 2. So that's gonna put Volume 1 in the B tier. Alright, so we have Volume 2 next. Volume 2, our first song, Time to Say Goodbye. One of the better opening songs, right? Easily digestible. I play this song like, almost every day. Especially within like the first 2-3 years of the song coming out. So easily there. It reminds us of all these characters, the battle for Beacon that's upcoming, the trailer kick from Mercury, which I referred to in a lot of my reactions through the series. Next up we have Die. Die, how does Die? It was just fine. We lived in peace. Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Definitely Die. Die is one of the better ones too. It's heavy, but it's a more digestible heavy, if that makes sense. Also helps that it was in a fight scene, right? And introduction of Neo, all that stuff. But Die as a standalone song, it kind of, in my opinion, it does stand on its own. Next up we have Shine. Baby, it's time to make up your mind. Shine definitely up there. If you guys don't know, Pyrrha, one of my favorite characters, and just having someone that's so perfect, showing their vulnerable side in the song. Even without the series, right? Shine is a good song even without context. So it definitely stands alone. So we give a point for that. Next up we have Dream Come True. Dude, this was like a better version of Shine, in my opinion. I love Dream Come True more than Shine. Especially with there's a lot of parts there. Like I like the second voices that were going on in the song. The Hey from Wise, just sprinkles on top, right? It's just icing on the cake. Um, Definitely give a point for that. Next up, we have Caffeine. I really did try to like this song, and it's kind of unfortunate that even Lamar is the goat, right? Lamar probably has the least misses in all the singers of Ruby, and even Lamar there wasn't able to like get me to like it. As fire as it was, it just fell short for me. I did not like Caffeine. And spoiler, any other Caffeine remixes in the future. I think I saw a one or two maybe. Next up, we have All Our Days. This song is so forgettable, right? This song is easily one of the most forgettable songs, and we definitely don't give a point for that. Like the idea here is it's good enough that you remember it, but having All Our Days being so forgettable just takes it out there. Next up, we have Boop. Boop is definitely a good one, right? I told you guys at the beginning that we kind of favor bop songs, and Boop definitely fills the slot. It's catchy, it's lively, it has character development, right? So definitely up there. Next up, we have Sacrifice. Sacrifice was a little too slow for me. It was kind of weird. It was between mellow and rock, so it didn't hit well for me. I didn't like Sacrifice, not at all. And yeah. Next up, we have This Will Be the Day, the acoustic version. I will say I did not like a lot of remixes because it just felt weird. But This Will Be the Day was kinda good. It was kinda good. And this is one of those songs that if it appears on the playlist, I wouldn't skip immediately while, songs like Caffeine, All Our Days, Wings that we've gone through so far, I would immediately skip. This Will Be the Day is something that I would not immediately skip. Maybe I'd skip it if I'm feeling a certain way, but on a regular day, I just let it play out. So we give another point for that. And then we have Time to Say Goodbye, the beach remix, which is also one of the few remixes that I did kinda like. However, we don't give a point for this because we already have Time to Say Goodbye in the same volume. And then we have This Will Be the Day, the Magical Girl remix. This was ass. I will say it was so bad. Yeah. It was awful. So how do we rate volume 2? So we have we have Time to Say Goodbye, Die, Shine, Dream Come True, Boop, and then the acoustic of This Will Be the Day. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. Okay, so that's gonna go to our S tier, right? S tier. Let me just count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's gonna be our first S tier. So as early as volume 2, the Williamses already get to put an S tier on our list. So we go to volume 3, opening When It Falls, and bam 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 bam. This was kinda close. It was a little too heavy for me. The instrumentals were too heavy. I definitely not fault anyone for liking this song. Especially, like I said, it's kinda hard to take out the show parts out of it, right? You when you sing the song, you remember the opening, the grims in the walls, the heroes falling, the fight with the Cinder's crew, stuff like that. But yeah, we don't give a point for this one. Next up, we have I'm the One. I'm the One. This was fire, right? This was fire. It it was heavy, but I think it was heavy done right. It was done right. Uh, uh, it was heavy but digestible at the same time. Uh, the theme song of Mercury and who's that? Emerald. So we give a point for that. Next up, we have It's My Turn. This is the song that was playing between the first round of Ruby and Auburn, was it? I forgot. But yeah, um, I wouldn't have to any longer. It all begins. A chance to win. This is definitely something I've played a few times. So yeah, we give a point for that. Not Fall in Love with You was something I did not like, but I eventually got into it. I definitely got into it. The part where girl, well I know you're out of my league. That part that was kind of fire for me. So I'm like, okay, I think I could get used to this one. So we give a point for that. Next up, we have Neon. Obviously, we give a point for this one. It's a bop. It's sassy, right? Listen, girlfriend, can't you see? I'm cool like the rain and I'm hot like the sun. I'm a neon rainbow. That was fire. It was corny and fire at the same time, right? So we give a point for that for sure. Mirror Mirror Part 2. I will say it's a ballad, but it's a ballad that works. We give a point for this one. For some reason, just the beat itself, the beat was kinda, it was done in a way that made it so much easier to digest, but not slow enough that it was boring. So we definitely like that. Next up, we have Divide. Easily the best villain song. Like, oh my god, Divide was such a masterpiece. Like, everyone agrees with this. It would discredit this tier list if we didn't give a point for Divide. Divide was really just up there, right? Next up, we have Cold. This was tough because even though it was a Pira song, I did not like Cold. It was too boring. It was boring as hell. Um, the feels that it gave you weren't strong enough to bypass the boring, right? Next up, we have Time to Say Goodbye, the acoustic version. We don't give a point for that. It's just levels below the original one. And the last song is It's My Turn, the remix. I did not like that as well. This felt like ass as well. It was bad. No ways around it. Okay, so how many did we like here? So we like I'm the One, It's My Turn, Not Fall in Love with You, Neon, Mirror Mirror Part 2, and Divide. Oh my god. So that means this is also in our S tier. But I would say that, yeah, 2 would be better. 2 would be better than 3. Alright. We're almost halfway there. So we have Volume 4. Volume 4 opening, Let's Just Live. I did not like Let's Just Live, like, in the opening. But once I heard the full version, definitely up there. Right. Definitely good. Especially the bridge. When the story takes an unexpected turn, a friend is suddenly gone. Oh my god, those feels, man, those feels. Referring to both Pira and Monty, rest in peace, Monty. dude, that just pushes us off. It the song was corny up until then, I will say. It was hella corny. But with that, and with like the building of the music, like speeding up, that was fire as well. We give a point for that, definitely. Next up, we have like Morning Follows Night. Go where you need to. I'll follow you like morning follows night. That was fire. That was fire. Especially the Lamar. Oh, Lamar just killed this song. Like, seriously, the song itself, the song itself was good. It did not need Lamar to make it even better, right? The song would pass on its own, but with Lamar, it just goes to like one of the top songs in the volume. Next up, we have Bad Luck Charm. I did not like this song. I did not. It was, like I said, too heavy. It was too heavy, and there's something about Jeff's songs that's it's too heavy. The instrumentals are too heavy, and there's this screeching, pitchy song for the vocals. Like it was too high pitched. It doesn't work for me. I did not like it. Next up, we have This Life Is Mine. There is a Wise song that I like, but I'm not sure if it's This Life Is Mine or if it's Path Through Isolation. Maybe it's This Life Is Mine. I think this is the one that was sang during the fight. The fight in Volume 5 where she fought the bee, right? I think it was sang there, which is kind of weird, right? Because it's in Volume 4, but the fight is in Volume 5. So yeah, I barely like that. It barely makes the list. I'm just being considerate at this point because, like, it would be awful if I didn't like any of the ballads, right? Another one is Home. The next up we have Home. I'm debating if Home should be here because it has that moment with the Wise and Yang. But I know that when I'm with you, I'm at home. But this is definitely one of the songs that I would skip on the playlist. I would definitely skip this. I would need to be really in the mood to hear Home, to listen to Home. So, for that, we're not gonna give a point for that. No Home today. Next up, we have Armed and Ready. This was fire, right? This was fire. We definitely give a point for that. I don't think I need to talk about that. Next up, we have Lasus Nature. This is like the Grim song. This was ass. Like I said, it's similar to Bad Luck Charm. Heavy instrumentals with like the high pitch in the song itself. I do get hype with the chorus though. The awaken my brood, that part, that was kind of hot. But just because you have like that hot part, it doesn't take away from the song. And if I'm not mistaken, the song is very long as well. Definitely one of the songs I would skip in a soundtrack or in a playlist. So we don't give a point for that. Next up, we have Bumblebee. Oh my god. Like a pretty bee, you were rose so sweet. That was fire. Every day is honey, tastes like honey. That was hype. I get hype for Bumblebee, definitely. And it's not even because of like the relevance of the singers or the characters. It stands on its own. It's a good song even without context. And then we have Boop, Acoustic Boop. Acoustic Boop definitely is, it's maybe just as good, maybe not as the regular Boof. Regular Boof may be as good as the acoustic or a little better, but it's still good enough. We're not skipping acoustic Boop, right? And then next up we have our two remixes. Sacrifice. Sacrifice was kind of weird here because it's an ominous song, but it's upbeat. That was so weird. And we have I May Fall remix. It was hard to digest. I tried to like this as well, but it wasn't there. Okay, so how many songs did we like here? Let's Just Live, Like Morning Follows Night, um, This Life Is Mine, Armed and Ready, Bumblebee, and the acoustic version of Boop. Holy shit, so that's another S tier. Oh my god. Um if we compare this to volume 3, yeah, I think I like 3 better. Some of the songs in volume 4 just barely made the point, while some of the songs in volume 3 were well past like the margin. Okay, so we have volume 5. So volume 5, the Triumph. The Triumph was something. I think the Triumph is only good if you think about the context, right? If you're thinking about the the visuals, if you don't have the visual, I don't think it stands on its own. It's not there. So not no for Triumph. Ignite. I think Ignite is something that you have to be in the mood for. You can't just slap it on. So I don't give a point for Ignite. Path to Isolation, no, not as well. Yeah, it's these songs are really, you need to be in the mood for. Now, Smile. Smile is probably one of the best songs in this volume, if I'm being honest. Show me how you smile. Take what you need. Leave them to bleed. Let them know bitter while your revenge is sweet. Definitely, we give a point for Smile. All Things Must Die. I didn't like this one. It kind of reminded me too much about Sacrifice. It was slow. And I don't think it was executed well. This Time, I didn't really like This Time as well. Yeah. It's so forgettable. In the show itself, I did not notice This Time. I did not notice it at all. So we don't give a point for that. Next up we have All That Matters, another forgettable song. No point for that as well. Next up we have acoustic version of Gold. Yeah, we don't give a point for that. Gold was already had a hard time getting a point, and making it acoustic just makes it worse. I prefer normal Gold over acoustic Gold. And then we have Armed and Ready Folk remix. This was ass. I listened to this one. I listened to it. I wanted to listen to it 3 times, but the second one was so ass that I had to stop there. Let's Just Live remix. It was ass as well. So yeah, holy shit, this is the only soundtrack we only liked one song, right? Only one song. Wow. That's definitely gonna go to the D tier if that's the case. Next up, we have Volume 6. So we're way past halfway now. Um, Rising. Rising is kind of situational, if I'm being honest. Right? I think Rising was something I was listening to a lot when the volume came out, but that's just like the Ruby effect, right? You listen to a song and then as you go on, you realize that there's just better songs to play. So I don't give a point for Rising, even though the fire part is the lightning doesn't take advice from anyone. That was fire. Next up, we have Miracle. Miracle, one of the better songs in the volume. Definitely a point for this one. Just the instrumentals alone, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. One thing my friend did was he did a remix of what's that song? Trust Love with Miracle at the end. So how does it go? It goes trust in love and open up your eyes. Bam 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 da 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 da. Time and time again we see, something like that. It was fire. As soon as I heard that first beats of Miracle, I'm like, holy shit, this isn't Trust Love anymore. What the hell is this? That was very fun. Um, Next up, we have One Thing. Definitely, One Thing I didn't like at first, but as I listened to it more, it barely made the list. It barely made the list. The bridge part, what a sweet release when you rest in peace. That was definitely what pushed it over the edge. Without that, the song doesn't work. Um, Next up, we have Lionize. This was tough, just hard to digest. Big Metal Shoe was kinda dull for me. It was dull. Next up, we have Nevermore. Nevermore's good. Uh, you tortured my heart and my hand, like Blake's heart and Yang's hand. That was a nice callback to it. Definitely a point for that. The vocals were amazing, and the wordplay between Nevermore being a grim and uh, Nevermore like not happen again. Just well, this was very well written, right? Next up, we have Indomitable. Indomitable was one of those songs I played a lot. You kinda have to get in the mood for it, but I think it's good enough to not be skippable. Like, you will have moments where you'll still skip it, but for the most part, it's fairly digestible. Next up, we have Forever Fall. One of the songs that's a ballad that works. The feels you get here is really strong. It's really strong. And it really helps that they use the instrumentals from volume 1 and just made it into a song. That really works. Um, it's similar to how the Penny theme, when they made it an actual song, was kind of fire. You did not need to do a lot of work at that point. Everyone was already attached. Just hearing those keys already reminded people, oh my god, it's the Penny song. So, we give a point for that. Armed and Ready acoustic, this was hella fire. Amazing job by Casey having that southern accent. Like she was a redneck. That was fire. And then the last two are remixes of Triumph and Path to Isolation, both of which were ass. These were just ass. So what do we have here? We have one for Miracle, two for One Thing, three for Nevermore, four for Indomitable, five for Forever Fall, and six for Armed and Ready Acoustic. Now I will say, um, even though it's six, there's a lot of songs here that are barely there. So I think we'll just put it in A tier, just because Forever Fall and Indomitable, as well as even One Thing, those are three songs that's kind of situational. You could skip those if you're not feeling into it, right? While the others are more, there's a wider window for you to be into it before you skip it. Next up, we have Volume 7, right? Or yeah, Volume 7. So for Volume 7, what do we have here? We have Trust Love. Trust Love, definitely up there, right? We give a point for that. Trust Love. What was the line there? The truth is there, but sometimes it's messed up. That was fire. That was fire. Next up, we have Touch the Sky. I did not like the song at all. I only like the part where they go, I might just touch the sky. But aside from that, the song, I didn't like the song. Next up, we have Hero. Oh my god, this is a boss tier level songs. Amazing performance by Caleb. I did not know Caleb before this song, but I definitely checked out his YouTube. Fire songs. Dude is incredibly talented. A lot of talent, and he definitely knows how to use it. Definitely, I would love to see him do more RWBY songs. As long as it's appropriate, right? You don't want Caleb doing a ballad, right? He's not for that. So yeah, amazing song, Hero. We have next up, Brand New Day. I really like this song. Crow drowning in alcohol. Oh my god, that was so good. And the whole put a stop on the train wreck that I'm in. That was fire. And even the chorus is so playful, right? Pa 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 da, everything is going right, okay. Taking everything on time. Something like that. Fire, just fire. Next up, we have Let's Get Real. This barely doesn't make the cut. It's a bop, but it's one of those bops where, if you're gonna listen to a bop, there's just so many more songs that's better. It falls short for me. War. Next up, we have War. War is really good. Really good. Especially thinking about like the fight scene. Even without the fight scene, War still makes the cut, even without the fight scene. But thinking about the fight scene just gives it more context, more emphasis. Celebrate. Celebrate is one of the more digestible bops. Definitely better than Let's Get Real. Oh my god, and the Lamar rap here. So good. So good. Just fire, man. Definitely we give a point for that. Next up, we have Until the End. I did not like Until the End. Like, it was so boring. And even with the whole, I'll picture me beside her. I promise I'll be here until the end. It wasn't enough. We don't give a point for that. Fear. I did like Fear. If I'm being honest, I did like Fear. Fear was definitely up there in terms of like ending songs, especially with fear that we might fail, fear that we'll succeed, fear we may not provide the things our loved ones need. And then the drums goes, brah! But our greatest fear will be realized. That was so fire. That was so fire. We definitely give a point for that. And then we have two more songs here. I May Fall acoustic. It was kind of meh. And then Nevermore play remix. Definitely no. Just a big no. So, how many songs did we like here? Trust Love, Hero, Brand New Day, War, Celebrate, and then Fear. So yeah, another solid S tier. Would we What's better between this and 4? I think it's better than 4, but maybe not better than 3. 3 has some really solid songs. 2 was too solid, in my opinion. 2 was too solid. Okay, now we go to volume 8. Okay, so volume 8. So the first song for Every Life. We said goodbye to all things we love. It was definitely okay, but is it good enough? Is it good enough? No, I don't think it's good enough. It kind of falls short. Falls short at that regard. Next up, we have The Sky Is Falling. This was very unfortunate because it's a Lamar song, and Lamar was not. Bro, you know the song is bad if Lamar can't like salvage it. It's just bad. Next up, we have Be Strong and Hit Stuff. This is very situational. Very situational. I'll just hold on. Stay tough. Be strong and hit stuff. It's definitely a skippable song. Definitely a skippable song. We can give like a half point for this one because it's kinda you may listen to it, but it's for the most part skippable. Next up, we have The Truth. I think The Truth is the lullaby. The lullaby of Cinder. And I can say we can give this a half point because it's not really a full song. It's good, but it's not a full song. So we can give that like a half point. So we're at 1 point so far. And then we have Treasure. What was Treasure? What was Treasure? I'm having a hard time to remember what is Treasure. Oh my god, is this the one that goes when you're lost, found? The one where Team RWBY's reunited with like the Schnee household when they made their return. I think that's the one. That was Ash, right? That was Ash. We have Friend. Friend was good. I will say I played this song a lot. Because of the Penny theme, right? It's so hard to detach yourself from the Penny theme that you could you could separate it, but it's really good. It's really good. And then our last song is "Awake" by OK Goodnight. I didn't like this song at all. It was kind of dead. I think there was a part here that I did like. I think within the chorus, but I forgot about it. It's hard to remember when the rest of the song is kind of ass. So I think for volume 8, it definitely has two, right? You have like point 0.5 from Stay Strong and Hit Stuff, and point 0.5 from The Truth. You have a point in Friend, so that's two. The question is, can you give a point for every life? I think that's like the debatable one. Um, I think for every life, I think the worst or the song that's closest to get a point from the openings is Rising, as far as the ones that didn't get a point. But I think it's definitely better than Rising. Um, yeah, maybe we can give like a half point just to look. Because would I say that Volume 8 was as bad as, let's say, Volume 5? Uh, it had higher highs but lower lows, right? Like some of these songs were just dead, right? For me, some of the songs were dead. Um, Sky is Falling was kind of hype because of like the scene, but when I listened to the whole song, it was kind of dead. So yeah, I guess that's gonna be our RWBY soundtrack tier list. So we have here Volume 2, Volume 7, 3, this is like 4, and then we have 6, 1, this is 8, and then 5. So yeah, if you guys like the content, leave some likes, comments, and all that. If you want to talk about it, we can have a discussion there. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe if you want to support your boy even more. Links to Patreon down in the description. I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.